Well, Andy, Ben, and Dan, we have reached my favorite portion of the game show, and it's always an awesome opportunity for me when I get the chance to create an original game for an actual game inventor and game show producers to play. It is time for the Game of the Day.
Game of the Day.
And as I said at the top of the episode, I have created a Misery Index-inspired game for all three of you to play. So without further ado, this game is called Now That's Miserable. Now that's miserable. And the background music for this game will fittingly be the song Misery by Maroon 5.
I've never been more frightened in my life.
Don't worry, Andy. You're going to do great. And Ben and Dan, you're going to do great as well. So here's how we play Now That's Miserable. This is going to be a head-to-head-to-head competition. So it's Andy Breckman versus Ben Newmark versus Dan Newmark. Before the show, I came up with 32 Misery Index-styled miserable events and asked a number of our Misery Index coworkers to rank these events from 1 to 100 on the Misery Index based on the 3 pillars of misery: physical pain, emotional trauma, and long-term psychological impact. The average of all the participants' rankings determined its final number on the Misery Index. In front of me are 16 numbered pairings of miserable events. During each round, you'll all have a chance to pick a number, and after hearing the 2 miserable events, you must figure out which event ranks higher on the Misery Index. If you're correct, you'll score the points for the round. In round 1, a correct answer is worth 1 point, 2 points in round 2, and 3 points in round 3. After 3 rounds, whoever has the most points wins the game. And if there is a tie after the 3rd round between any of you, we'll play a tiebreaker round. Those are all the rules. Andy, Ben, and Dan, once again, I'm going to ask you, are you ready to get miserable and play this game?
Whew, let's do it.
I'm in.
Well then, let's get miserable. It's time to play Now That's Miserable.
Hold on. Before we begin, Ben and Dan, I'm putting $10 on the table. Each of you open your wallet. Okay. There's $30 in the pot. Okay, so now we have a game. Now it means something.
Well, this is definitely a first on the game show, side betting during the game of the day. So I definitely now wish all three of you the best of luck. Let's begin with round 1. Correct answers are worth 1 point, and remember the 3 pillars of misery when deciding your answer: physical pain, emotional trauma, and long-term psychological impact. And Andy, we're going to start with you. Which of the 16 numbered pairings would you like first?
Number 8.
Number 8. So here are your 2 events. Remember, you have to choose the one that you think is ranked higher on the Misery Index. Your choices are: while jumping up and down on a diving board, it snaps in 2. Or, when cleaning the roof of your house, the roof caves in.
Okay, those are kind of similar. Which is more traumatic? That's a great question. I would say the diving board would be more traumatic because there's nothing under you but air. On the roof, you're going to hit the attic or the top floor within 10 feet, I hope. So I would say the diving board.
Are you locking that in?
Yes, and that I think is worse. It's a higher number.
He already locked it in. I'm saying no way. Yeah, can I make
Totally
a comment
wrong.
and say Andy
Really?
is wrong?
That's a perfect example of what we discussed earlier. I suck at this.
Well, according to the panel of participants, while jumping up and down on a diving board, it snaps in 2, was rated a 37 on the Misery Index. And cleaning the roof of your house and the roof caves in got a 65, so you were wrong.
I
Andy,
was
if
so
your
wrong.
house- the roof is caving in on your own house. The other one, you fall in a pool.
Yeah, you fall in the pool. That's true.
Diving boards are over water, Andy.
Yeah. You're like, it's just air. This isn't
Oh,
a
I should have done.
diving board on a plane.
Well, I didn't do the research that I should have done.
But no worries, that's only round
Okay.
1. You still got 2 more chances. Ben, you're up next. Which number?
9.
Number 9, okay. Your choices are: you step on a sea urchin while snorkeling, or you see the fin of a shark while swimming in the ocean.
Oh, hands down, it's the fin of a shark. To me, the trauma of the fear of death always ranks more on the misery index, so I'm going to go shark.
Are you locking that in?
Yes.
Well, you see the fin of a shark while swimming in the ocean. That's a 65. You step on a sea urchin while snorkeling is a 45. So you are correct.
Thank you.
Now, if I had seen the fin of a shark in that swimming pool, I would have had a different answer.
Right.
Very true. Or in your attic.
In my attic.
So, Ben, you're on the board first with 1 point. And Dan, which number would you like for your first round scenarios?
I'll take 16.
All right, the choices for number 16 are you see your pastor in a porn video, or you find a dead mouse in your bag of chips.
Wow. I am going to say seeing your pastor in a porn video has a more long-term psychological impact than the mouse and the chips.
I have to say I would disagree for what it's worth.
You're just disagreeing with no context, Andy?
Well, my heart would be beating every time I open a bag of chips for the rest of my life on Earth.
That is true.
Or opening any box or bag of food.
That is true. If it weren't coming from the guy who said falling into a pool is worse than your house collapsing, I'd be more concerned.
Well, wouldn't your life be ruined if every time you watch porn you'd be scared to death you'd recognize someone? I mean, you have to consider that.
For me, in my lifestyle, that's worse.
So are you locking in the porn video?
Locking it in.
Let's find out which ranked higher on the misery index. You see your pastor in a porn video got a 34.
Wow.
Oh, that's low.
And you find a dead mouse in your bag of chips got a 48. So I'm so sorry, Dan. Andy's logic was spot on with these scenarios.
Wow.
Oh, there you go.
So at the end of the first round, Ben, you're the only one with a point.
This is really exciting, guys.
We're now moving on to round 2. Correct answers are now worth 2 points. And Andy, which number would you like for your second round group of scenarios?
Number 1.
Number 1, okay. Your choices are you find out that the beef stroganoff you're eating is actually dog food,
That's not good.
or your dog pulls on its leash and you crash into a mailbox.
That's actually tough because neither one is life-threatening.
Andy, I would argue because of how much you love deli food, all this guy wants is deli sandwiches. That would be traumatic for you.
That's true. And I actually kind of enjoy crashing into mailboxes. It's kind of a hobby. Okay, I will take my friend's advice. It feels like we're on the actual show, doesn't it, guys?
Yeah.
This is fun. I'll take my friend's advice and say the dog food reveal is worse.
Are you going to lock that in?
Yeah, I'll lock that in.
All right, Andy, you got to get on the board, so good luck. You find out that the beef stroganoff you're eating is actually dog food, only got a 38.
What?
Whoa, that's low.
And your dog pulls on its leash and you crash into a mailbox. That got a 29, so you're right.
Wow.
Oh, there it is.
Wow.
Thanks, guys.
Wow.
Well, thanks for your help. I'm on the board.
Andy, I'm not paying you no matter what happens.
I'll fly out there first class just to collect $10.
And game show fans might recognize the beef stroganoff scenario from a well-known 1973 episode of To Tell the Truth, hosted by Gary Moore. Brad fact!
Oh, we treat you well on this show. Stroganoff. Stroganoff, dig in and enjoy. There are knives and forks and napkins. Righty, now let's meet the person who specializes in unusual dishes. Here we go.
Number 1, what is your name, please?
My name is Terry Arnell.
Number 2.
My name is Terry Arnell.
Number 3.
My name is Terry Arnell.
And as usual, the panel's job is to find out who truly is Terry Arnell. And this is the way the affidavit says. It says, I, Terry Arnell, maintain that meat prices are much too high. As a college student, I simply can't afford to pay $1 for a pound of hamburger, particularly when it fries away to nothing. Fortunately, I've hit on an ingenious, money-saving, palate-pleasing plan. Every meal, from breakfast through dinner, contains the same basic ingredient. Take, for example, my glorious beef stroganoff, which the panel is eating now. Made with noodles, sour cream, carrots, garlic, and potatoes, it is the thrifty shopper's delight. Not only is the meat in my stroganoff healthy and delicious, but also very reasonable in price.
Get out of here. What is it?
Why?
What?
Because it's dog food. Affidavit.
It was delicious.
The affidavit is signed Terry Arnell. Terry, take your seat. Well, we learned a lot that time. The only one who recognized the taste was Peggy.
I didn't eat it.
Oh, you didn't eat it?
Kitty said it's marvelous.
I said it was delicious, and it still is. I can't help it. It was very good.
I looked at it and it didn't.
It's a terrible idea, but it's very good.
Well,
It looks funny to me.
let
I
me
eat
tell you,
everything.
if you really think that we served you dog food,
Yeah.
you're barking up the wrong tree.
Love it.
Wow.
So, Andy, you have 2 points, and Ben, you're up next. Which number?
I believe I have 1 point. I believe I got the first one wrong.
Well,
For
yeah.
round 2, you get 2 points. Andy,
Oh,
you're
round
the
2 is
game
2
guy.
points.
The stakes were raised.
Oh,
the stakes were raised.
So if we end the show right now, I would win.
Technically, they would still have a chance because they haven't done round 2 yet.
Oh, I see. Okay, then we got to go. Okay.
Ben, which number would you like next?
6.
Number 6 it is, and here are the 2 scenarios to choose from. A cat attacks you while trying to rescue it from a tree, and you fall to the ground. Or you fall 50 feet down into a water well after leaning over too far.
I'm going to have to say you fall 50 feet into a water well. By the way, I do have a fear of cats. I can't stand cats because they pounce and it scares the crap out of me, so I won't get a cat. So that is bad for me, but gotta be falling into a well is worse.
And you're locking that in?
Locking it.
Well, you fell 50 feet down into a water well after leaning over too far. Got a 73. But a cat attacks you while trying to rescue it from a tree and you fall to the ground. Actually got a 49, so you're right.
Yeah.
Well done.
Another 2 points for you, Ben, which means you're now up to 3 points.
I hope mine are this easy, you know?
He gets all the easy ones.
Yeah. Anything with a shark fin in there?
Yeah.
Another shark fin one?
Guys, I'm good at the game. It's not about the questions. Jeez.
Yeah, clearly not. I knew you didn't like me, Bradley.
Brad, thanks for the text, man. Thanks for the text.
Just so you know, I play no favoritisms. I assure all of you that this is a legit game. I'm not switching any of the scenarios after you pick the numbers. I don't want any game show scandals happening here on the game show. All right, so Dan, which number would you like to pick for your second round duo of scenarios?
I'll take unlucky 7.
Well, hopefully for you, Dan, number 7 is actually lucky, and here are the scenarios to choose from. A foul ball gives you a bloody nose at a baseball game, or you propose to your significant other and they say no while on a stadium jumbotron.
I mean, guys, nothing's worse than a foul ball, huh? I mean, the life-shattering effects of a foul ball. I mean, you just gotta think it's getting rejected from your proposal on some sort of stadium screen.
I would say you're wrong, Dan, because they're always fake.
That is true. Those are always fake. But if it were real, then I would say
if it were real.
I would say that, and I'll lock it in.
Well, you propose to your significant other and they say no while on a stadium jumbotron, received a misery index rating of 60.
Yeah.
And a foul ball gives you a bloody nose at a baseball game. Well, that got a 43, so you're right.
Hey.
Well done.
Thank you.
So at the end of round 2, Andy and Dan have 2 points, but Ben is in the lead with 3 points. And this is round 3, the final round, which means correct answers are now worth 3 points.
Oh, okay.
Andy, we're going to start with
Can I tell
you.
The most difficult element of your game is trying to remember which numbers have been already used.
Andy, go with 16.
Numbers 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 16 have been used.
Even you just saying that doesn't help me. That's how stupid I am. Okay, so I'll say 2.
Number 2. Now, remember, you have to get this to take the lead from Ben. Your choices are: you pee your pants while giving a presentation in front of your boss at work.
That's bad.
Or you forget your lines on stage during a school play.
Okay, well, they're both bad, but I think people forgetting their lines is pretty common. But peeing your pants in the middle of a presentation is noteworthy. It's something people would remember. And so I would say that is worse.
Are you going to lock that in?
Yes, I would lock that in.
You pee your pants while giving a presentation in front of your boss at work, got a 56. You forgot your lines on stage during a school play. That got a 42, so you're right.
There it is.
Andy takes the lead.
Well, it's even more complicated question, really, because if I pee my pants in front of my boss, I'd have to kill everyone in the room. So the story would not get out. It becomes a very, very ugly mess.
Wasn't that an episode of Monk?
I'm sure it was. I'm just glad it wasn't the pitch of our show while we were pitching.
So, Andy, you have now taken the lead with 5 points. And Ben, since you were in the lead coming into this round, you're going to play last, which means, Dan, you're up next.
Sure. I'll take 11.
Number 11, here are your choices. You fall in a campfire and lose all of your skin on your hands.
Oh, Jesus.
Or
that's bad.
You're forced to completely shave your head.
What?
Can I ask a follow-up question?
Sure.
When I'm shaving my head, is my entire body on fire?
No, your body's not on fire.
Got it. Okay, well, if that's the answer, then I'll go with the fact that my skin is burned alive and I no longer have skin on my hands. I'll go with that one. And I feel good to lock it in.
You fall in a campfire and lose all of the skin on your hands, ranked a 76 on the misery index.
Uh-huh.
Forced to completely shave your head was only a 27, so you're right.
Hey!
Oh, guys.
Wow.
Who hated these? That's ridiculous.
Ben's had bad haircuts before. That's why he's calling BS.
And fans of Survivor probably figured out that the campfire situation was a reference to a moment that occurred on Survivor the Australian Outback. And Amazing Race fans should remember the head-shaving fast-forward task from seasons 5, 7, and 20. Brad fact!
Ah, well done. Well done. Well, it all comes down to this.
That's right. So, Ben, in order to win, you have to get a perfect score of 6, since Andy and Dan both have 5. So what number would you like?
I'll choose number 4, and guys, get your Venmos ready.
Just as a follow-up, I refuse to pay anybody.
Oh, I will happily pay. It couldn't have worked out more dramatically and perfect.
I agree 100%. A close game and a dramatic finish. 2 of the greatest elements in any game show. So, for 3 points, a perfect score of 6 points, and more importantly, the win, which of these 2 scenarios ranks higher on the misery index, Ben? Is it your body gets stuck while hiding under the bed, or you get stuck while sitting on the toilet?
You mean your body gets stuck in the toilet?
Yes.
Or you get stuck under the bed?
Yes.
Okay, wow, this is interesting, guys. This is a close one. This is not an easy one.
Well, why are you hiding under the bed? Is there like a jealous husband looking for you?
Did your partner accidentally pee in a presentation and he's murdering you?
I would say stuck in the toilet would be more embarrassing.
Ooh.
I think it wins out on the embarrassing factor because in both scenarios you're getting stuck.
So are you locking in getting stuck while sitting on the toilet?
Wait a minute. No, I'm not locking it in. I'm switching my vote. I think stuck under the bed would be more miserable because you would fear, how am I going to get out of here? Am I going to suffocate? Am I going to die under here? I'm going to go to bed.
So you're going to lock in getting stuck while hiding under the bed?
Yes.
Ooh.
All right, let's lock that in.
I would disagree, but let's see what happens.
This couldn't be a better ending. Not only is the entire game riding on this answer, but you switched your answer at the last second. So Ben, let's find out where these events rank on the misery index. Good luck. Your body gets stuck while hiding under the bed. Only got a 39.
Oh.
You get stuck while sitting on the toilet, which was your original guess, but you decided to switch. That received a rating on the misery index of 28. So Ben, congratulations, you're right, you win.
Whoa!
Yes.
Well Well done.
Wow.
There you go, guys. The master of misery. Venmo it up.
Here we are. Yeah, definitely. I will.
So,
I'm
Ben,
very
with a
impressed.
perfect 6 points, congratulations, you have won. Now that's miserable.
Fantastic, Bradley. I loved this interview. This was fantastic.
This sucked.
Well, Andy and Dan, I hope you still enjoyed the game.
Very much. And I really appreciate the work you put into it to plan that out.
Had a great time, man. It was a lot of fun.
Well, I had as much fun creating the game as I did hosting it for you three to play. And that was the game of the day. Now that's miserable. Now that's miserable.